Welcome to Contracting Conversations. My name is Scott Williams. I'm joined again by my co-host, Jim Valley. This afternoon, we had the pleasure of speaking with Jason Ackiss, who is the Learning Asset Manager for Con 1300V, which is titled Contract Award. Jason, hey, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, we're happy to have you. Jason, to get us rolling here, tell us a little bit about the revised 1300 and what's going on with the course.
Okay, yeah. So recently, it was decided by DAU through going through the proper channels and getting approval that we were going to be changing the Con 1300 from what is now 19 days, and we're going to be changing that to 8 days. So we're going from a 4-week class to a 2-week class.
And Jason, this is Jim. When do you expect that to happen? When are we going to start with that new course length?
So officially, it will be 1 October 2024, but some students might see some of the Con 1300s up until that point converted. Not everyone will be converted, but there will be some, between now and October 1st, there will be some 2-week classes.
Is there any change, Jason, in the material that's in the course going from the 4-week period down to the little bit less than 2-week period? Any change in the material?
No, actually, there's no change in the material. The material is going to be the same. So, it's not like the new classes, they're going to get something, new and different. No, it's going to be the same material, but there are going to be some changes with the schedule. So, for example, right now, students in the current 4-week session don't go in week 2. They have in week 3, they have a 5-hour class day. In week 4, they have a 6-hour class day. What we're doing with the new Con 1300, the 2-week version, is one of those days we're going to bring the groups in together. So we're going to have a virtual session, but it's just going to be group time. It's just going to be so students can go into their rooms and work on certain parts of Con 1300, specifically the process mapping assignment and case study part 2. So that's going to shift things a little bit. So those 5 hours, so that one 5-hour class and one 6-hour class, those will change to 4-hour days. So in the new Con 1300, you will only go 8 to 12. There will be no time after that.
So Jason, as you know, in our current format, right, 19 days, we have the asynchronous, which is on your own, and we have the synchronous, which is with a live instructor virtually. So how's that change? I mean, how many hours are we now talking about where they're actually going to be in a virtual environment with an instructor? And how much of it do you envision is going to be asynchronous? And you kind of led to implied on that, but I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
Yeah, so the time will be exactly the same. So currently, overall, what will end up happening is, there won't be really any changes to the time that the students will be doing the async part to the time that they're doing the virtual part. So what it boils down to really is you're going to have about 19.5 hours of student self-paced hours. You're going to have 4 hours of group work. That's the time that I talked about. And then you'll have 18 hours of live instruction time. And that mirrors very closely how the current class is set up.
Okay, awesome. That's great, Jason. So for those out there, obviously those students are looking at the new 1300 that's going to start in FY25. So here I am, that person, I'm taking the class, I'm looking at taking this class. What should I be looking forward to in the way of topics, how the course is structured? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the way that the course is going to be structured, obviously, is going to be an 8 days. So let's just kind of walk through that, kind of how you would see that, what you would learn. So the first day that you go into class, we'll just call that day 1. That's going to be the introduction, right? We're just going to go over the introduction, show you where everything is, have an opportunity to meet everyone in your class, just your classic introduction. In that first week, 2 of those days are going to be 4-hour days. And what we're going to do over that is go over the Unit 2, which is cost of price analysis. So we'll spend 2 4-hour days going over that. Now, that's the first week. During that first week, you're also going to be doing the asynchronous portion of the class, which means you'll be going over the Unit 2 cost of price analysis. You'll be looking at Unit 3, which is negotiations. you'll start looking at Unit 4, which is select source. And in that week 2, we'll start off with group work, right? That's what I mentioned. You'll come in, you'll go to your breakout rooms with your groups, and you're going to work on the process map assignment and Unit 2, the case study. The next time you come to class, we'll be going over Unit 4, which is select source again. And that's a 4-hour session. And then there's another 4-hour session the next day, or depending on how the schedule works for you, which would be Unit 5, managed disagreements, and also going over Unit 6, which is the rest of the case study. So during that time, every day, you're also going to have some self-paced things that you need to do, the asynchronous work. So let's rehash that. Here's what you're going to learn. You're going to do Unit 2 is cost price analysis. Unit 3 is negotiations. Unit 4 is select source. Unit 5 is managed disagreements. And we're also going to do, call it Unit 6, but it's a case study that we'll be doing throughout the course. So that's the course in a nutshell.
Okay, great. So I think a key part here is you have all this work. How are they going to be graded and assessed to make sure they mastered the material?
Right. Good question. So we have a total available points of 250 in Con 1300. And as with most DAU classes, right, you're going to need 80% of that to pass, which will be 200. Con 1300 is made up of a few types of assessments. We have one quiz, which is going to be for Unit 2. We also have a process map exercise. We have a reflection exercise. And the reflection exercise is awesome because the students get to use something that's happened to them at work to bring back to the class, which allows us to not only learn from each other, but to see the commonalities that we have in the contracting career field. There's also group work that will be graded, but here's what's really interesting about the group work. By listening to student feedback, there are a lot of people that love the group work. There are some people that didn't. Group work needs to be part of Con 1300 because that was what was required from DAU by, I don't want to get too far into this, but by the functional leader said, some of these classes are going to have group work. But what we were able to do is we were to take that group work, allow you to work in a group, but yet submit your assignment individually. So for example, if your group, you disagree with your group, you're not tied to their answer. So you'll have group work, but with individual assessments. And the feedback from the students for that has been phenomenal. So that's part of the graded set part. But let's talk about something that I find very exciting. And Con 1300 has a lot of ungraded assignments. They're not mandatory. We have knowledge checks that you can take if you so choose, if students so choose, that allow you to see your mastery of the knowledge, but without any stress from taking a test, any kind of anxiety, anything, just something that you get to do to challenge yourself. What I like to ask my students to do is take it at the very beginning of the class, take some of those at the very beginning, and then take them at the end and see if you did better. But again, those are not graded. They're not mandatory, but we do find that most students take those, and we've got a lot of good feedback on that.
Yeah, and Jason, I would suggest to the students out there, anytime in any of our courses where you have an opportunity to do something that's going to reinforce the learning, it's only going to make you do better in the class and do better when you get back into your office. I think that's important.
Yes, I do too. Testing your knowledge is a great way for you to see what your strong suits are and maybe what you're weak at. And if there's something that you're weak at, contracting people should strive to kind of fix that weakness, to go through and find more information out about it.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jason.
Hey, Jason, great job talking about the new course structure. Really appreciate that. And for our listeners out there, we're going to have updates on Con 1100, 1200, and 1400, as well as 3990. So give those a listen. Great job, Jason. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap up?
I will say to all students out there that might listen to this, take as much information out of these classes as you can. We are building the foundation of your knowledge in the career field. So we're not teaching you how to go out there and be ready to do everything in contracting. But what we're doing with these back to basics courses is we're building your foundation that you're going to build on for the rest of your career. So, if you have questions, ask away in class. People will answer that. And always know that DAU is here to help you do better in your job and performing the mission.
Thanks, Jason. I tell you, Jason, and I would tell the students out there listening to this, hey, when you're done with 1300, if that is your last course, or maybe 1400 is your next one, go out and take 3910 immediately. Start preparing for the certification exam while all this is still fresh in your mind. I think that's a key point I want to make sure I get out there.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree.
Awesome. So for those out there, Scott brought it up. We have a brand new videos on the new course structure, the new lengths out there for all the certification courses. Those will be out here in the next few weeks. And so if you could, do us a favor, smash the like button, whether you're on YouTube, DAU Media, or Apple Podcasts. That really helps the channels. So thank you very much, and we look forward to having future contracting conversations with you.